Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Welcome to yet another edition of International Forum. I am Wilson Omasha. Today is all about the Israel-Hamas war. Global implication has been on for like 3 to 4 weeks now, and counting for making any mistake. It's been one form of attack to the other coming from the side of Israel after Hamas committed a heinous crime in some crime, going through the walls of Israeli, targeting small villages, killing over 1,000 plus Israelis, and that didn't go down too well with the Prime Minister and the Israeli army. It's all-out war, according to Benjamin Netanyahu. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a legal practitioner, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Abayomi Thomas. Barrister, welcome to International Forum.
Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you for having me here.
All right. Stay very close to him. He is a lecturer from Uniben, a clergyman, political analyst. Join me to welcome Honorable Frank Amego. Welcome to International Forum.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
From Massachusetts, yes, all the way from US via Zoom. I'd like also to welcome Barrister Osahon Osazuwa Daniels. Welcome to International Forum, Barrister. Appreciate your coming.
Thanks very much. It's always my pleasure.
All right. I want to start off from Barrister A.B. Thomas. It's been on right now. It's like the ground offensive has started. But Iran issued a warning saying, look, if you continue with this offensive, the Middle East will spin out of control. And that has been one of the major Arab League talk force, so to speak. Saudi Arabia, UAE, they've been on the, come on, let's work out for peace, and they didn't come out outrightly to condemn what Hamas did. What do you have to say about that, Barrister A.B. Thomas?
Thank you for having me. I don't like hearing people saying the Arab leaders did not condemn Hamas for what Hamas did. For God's sake, every soul is important. Whether Arab, Palestinian, Nigerian, Ghanaian, every soul is important. But before anybody can be asking that why are the Arabs not condemning Hamas, I want to ask you and those people asking the same question. What were you people doing when Israeli Defense Forces were going into the West Bank, into Jenin, all the camps, so-called camps that are villages, killing youths, killing Palestinians? You've taken their land already, and you are still killing them.
Was it before or after the attack?
Before the attack of October 7. What were you people saying? Nobody condemned Israeli Defense Forces. They were doing all the lights in West Bank. I particularly watched a video clip of where Israeli Defense Forces arrested a youth on the suspicion that he is, or he was, a terrorist. You said you are in a democracy. I watched the clip. The guy fell on the ground. There were about 6 IDF members. And one took his gun and shot him directly. Did America talk?
But so was it terrorists?
Who decides? That is the duty of a court. They call themselves democracy. Their prime minister is trying to curtail the powers of the courts so that the politicians can override the courts. That is why you have seen demonstrations in Israel. But now, it was before Saturday, October 7th. And this incident happened about 4 months ago. Not a single soul. I watch Al Jazeera, I watch CNN, I watch Sky News, I watch BBC, I watch SNBC. No single country, no single human being condemned that outright execution. And it is not like that. Before October 7, so many atrocities were being committed by the IDF. You occupy people's land, you restrain them from moving. In fact, the biggest prison in the whole world is Gaza. The biggest open prison. Now, half of Gaza has been leveled. Let them finish leveling the whole place. Occupy Gaza, as they did in 2014. You will still find that you cannot have any means of having peace other than equitable discussion.
All right. I'll come back to you. You heard his allegation. He said there was an execution of a seeming Hamas member by IDF, Israeli Defense Force. He talked about also choking the populace or the Palestinian citizens in Gaza by Israeli Defense Forces. Does it mean that there is a flaw somewhere in gathering intel to know who is the terrorist or not by the Israeli Defense Forces, Honorable Frank?
Yes, I would want to agree with Barrister.
You agree with him?
Outrightly disagree.
You disagree with him?
Outrightly. Add the word outrightly to help.
Okay, all right.
So, Hamas standpoint brought into full force late 1987. It's not a nation. It's a terrorist group. So a sovereign nation is now being asked to go on a roundtable talk with a terrorist group. If we are saying Israel and Palestine, let's discuss, it will make sense to me. Not with Hamas. And the problem with Hamas, they don't have the good intention of the people around the Gaza Strip and all that. Why would you fire about 500 or 5,000 rockets straight into Israel? If the young man that was killed, there should be an organized government of Palestine to look into it. Not for Hamas to rise up to say what they did was wrong. I like the attitude of the Israeli soldiers. If that's what we have in Nigeria, Boko Haram would have been a past tense. But now we are trying to pamper the situation. Hamas is not a country. They don't have sovereignty. They're just aggrieved terrorists, and they are rising up to challenge a sovereign nation. To me, I want to submit that what Israel is doing is the right thing.
It's the right thing.
Yeah.
I'll come back to another. Well, Barrister Osaho Osazua, you've heard them. Two contrasting opinions, two contrasting views. What do you have to say about this?
Thank you very much, Whitney. But unfortunately, I couldn't hear nor even see them. So, but nonetheless, let me quickly send a greetings to my very learned senior there, the very erudite chief, Domosao. I knew he's there, but I can neither hear nor see.
What's it?
Friend of the Abego.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So, if I may add something to this, what this seemingly or everlastingly conundrum in the Middle East, never heading fracas between the Jewish nation and her Arab neighbors. It is a sad thing that we are where we are today. We have chances to make this thing work, but we have consistently and repeatedly made errors and missed those opportunities. If we are sincere to ourselves, we realize that there are strong arguments on both sides of this divide. That we cannot, in all honesty, say that what Russia is doing, for example, in Ukraine is unjust, and in the same breath, say what Israel is doing to the Palestine is just. So we must try as much as possible to say the truth in this matter. It breaks my heart, honestly, that the Palestinians have been made to suffer this long. It breaks my heart that the West have not been sincere in addressing the plight of the Palestinian people. It breaks my heart that we could have done much more better than we are doing today. We ought not to be here. Israel had a chance with the Palestinian Authority, the PLO, to reach lasting peace. But for decades, after decades, the results were not coming. And the baby that is being beaten Hamas must cry and must be allowed to cry. So that's why we have the resistance in this first place. Hamas was founded in 1987 to address the seemingly endless discussions that the Palestinian Authority was having with the Jewish nation and with the rest of the world in addressing the Palestinian plight. They thought that peace and negotiations have not worked, that there needs to be some, unfortunately, some addition of strength of arms, or if you like, violence into this struggle. Hence, we have Hamas. Hence, we have the armies of Allah or INT'L. Hence, we have the Al-Aqsa Brigade and every other so-called terrorist group we have today in the Middle East, because they thought and they still think that the Palestinian people deserve better, and that negotiations with the West and with the state of Israel have been done not with honest, but with deceit, and with deceit that have unfortunately prolonged the suffering of the Palestinians.
But hold on now, are you in support of the attack by Hamas group against Israel? Over 5,000 rockets fired at Israel.
It is not easy, my brother, to say whether you are for or you are for against. You must see, you see something. We cannot address this present issue just based on what happened on October 7th of this month. That will be myopic. That will do a lot of injustice to this whole matter. Yes, I have strong apathy and strong, if you like, biases for the state of Israel. What happened to them during the Second World War ought not and never ought to be repeated again. For God's sake, 6 million Jews, 6 million God's children were methodically exterminated, were methodically and exterminated simply because of what? Because they were Jews. That was the only reason that went out for them. And that's why we have the pogrom. That's why we have the Holocaust, which is one of the neither one of the most wrenching incidences of human history. And the world thought that these people deserve a home. The world thought, the West especially thought, that they have not done enough to prevent this monstrosity and the foundation of the Jewish nation, the state of Israel in 1948. But yet, I tell you, it is said, like my queen said, that do not strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. That's exactly what the West has done. Israel has been strengthened over these years, over 8 years, at what price? At the cost of the Palestinian people.
All right.
Because the West failed to address the issue of Nazism that led to the extermination of the Jewish people. And then they have started another extermination, unfortunately, this time of the Palestinian people. And I tell you something, like I said before, the baby that is beating must cry. And the cry of that baby is this rocket that's been launched. But it's a feeble thing, I tell you. Hamas has not a single jet fighter. Hamas has not even a standing army. Hamas should have known. They should have known. And they ought to know that by doing that raid, the repercussions will be steep and there. And the price will be very, very huge. They should have known that. But they went ahead to do what they did. And we are here we are today. But we must go beyond October 27th. We must address the roots of the Palestinian agitation.
All right.
We must address the issue of the two-state solution. Israel and Palestine, two independent states under God's sky, living side by side. That, my brother, is the dream. And we should all be honest enough to pursue that dream.
I will come back to you.
Honest enough, dedicated enough to pursue that vision. Palestine is possible. Israel is possible. Let the heart purge. Let the ego purge. Let all of them purge. And the one that said the other should purge, let it will break. Thank you, brother.
I'll come back to you, Barrister Osazuma, where he has spoken at length. He talked about 1948. He talked about also several things that happened to the Israeli, the Jewish people, over 16 exterminated, given a portion of land to at least recuperate and be given so much strength to grow. But he's ended by saying Hamas should have known better. That when you carry out such a raid, repercussion will be massive. What do you have to say about
know
that?
that?
Because some are saying that right now that Hamas, that they are cowards. Why would you go attack Israel? All of a sudden you start hiding in mosques, hiding in hospitals, hiding in schools, hiding in marketplaces. Take it up from there. Yes.
My friend to my left said Hamas is a terrorist group. I don't know where he got the right to label a group terrorist.
But
I accept everything my little friend from Chicago said. I support everything in total. But I will add, the Benin you spoke, you probably don't understand it. That Omonagbe, I went there, a child you have beaten, you can't restrain that child from crying. Now, for the past 80 years, the Palestinians have been losing their lands. Apartheid has been introduced into Israel. Israel that was granted a small piece of land and protected by the British with guns, allowed the Israelis to begin to arm themselves to the extent of pursuing the Palestinians away from their ancestral homes. Now, you are talking, every time people are talking, I just get fed up. You are talking of October 7, October 7, October 7. Did this crisis start October 7? If they have been suffering for almost 80 years, October 7, they went out of frustration into Israel and did the unthinkable, a wrong thing, killing souls. And every human being who is a student of international affairs knows that Israel itself is an outlaw country. Why do I say outlaw country?
What would you say outlaw country?
Good. Whenever United Nations that represents the whole world takes a decision, Israel refuses to obey.
What kind of decision?
Decisions that will lead to two states that will allow Israel exist side by side, a Palestinian state.
But still, Israel gave them 3 good opportunities, and Palestine said no. That Israel.
With me or
no. I'm bringing up facts right now. 3 good chance for them to have the deal.
Let me tell you why those deals failed.
Okay.
If you are a student of Middle East history, how do you accept to say to create a Palestinian state and you go on establishing new settlements, driving away Palestinians? In fact, the settlement that the British and other nations had in 1948, which created the Palestinian state, was for a small space. But the British provided the arms for the Israelis to get their place. Then we are saying 3 times the Palestinians offered, and the Israelis offered Palestinians a right to have their own state. Who has the right to give state? Is it you, the tenant who came, or the owners of the land you met? And besides that, you are saying, say in 10 square miles, then you have your state. Till today, the Palestinians have nothing to show for nationhood. They have no airport, they have no seaport, they have no standing army. Even Hamas, that came into existence in 1987, came in as a protest in Gaza, where Hamas defeated PLO in an election. The people in Gaza were fed up with
and
PLO.
That election is highly contestable.
Look,
you cannot go vote for someone holding guns before
your whole election
you.
is also debatable. Don't let me talk too much.
All right.
Your whole election is debatable. All elections are debatable. Okay. So at the end of the day, Hamas won. The people who are fighting now, that everybody is just calling Hamas, is the Qassam Brigade. Is the Qassam Brigade. They are the ones that invaded Israel. Not even Israel. They are the ones that invaded the occupied Palestinian territory by Israel. The areas they went into are areas occupied by Israel. Israel has occupied Gaza. Israel has occupied West Bank. There is no place you can call that of Palestinians. I was very happy when I listened to Al Jazeera interviewing a group of Christians in Israel. That's why I said, look, we are fed up with this situation. We Christians, we are now 2% in Israel. When the state of Israel was created, Christians were 58%. This same apartheid that the Jews are creating is how the Christian population was reduced to 2%. The Arabs are now 80%. Now, if you want the man that Donald Trump referred to as a little man who throws rockets, why was the man in North Korea throwing rockets? It was because of insecurity from America.
All right.
And if you are also supporting this kind of mass killing that is going on, extortion, I mean, killing of people in Gaza.
I'm asking questions, not supporting anyone.
I'm also saying, why is America spending billions in Ukraine?
Okay, I'll come back to you. Well, Honorable, you've heard both of them.
Yes.
I mean, so what's your own angle from their own argument? He said, look, you cannot beat a child and tell the same child not to cry. That the cry we saw on October 7th was as a result of the beating being, unleashed on Palestinians, and that was the reason why Hamas cried. The cry came from over 5,000 rockets targeted at Israel. The cry came from over 1,000 Israelis killed. That we should go beyond that October 7th. Take it up from there.
Yes, well, I can't draw a line because the line drawn by Barrister and that of Barrister Osao, they are parallel lines, and I will be a transversal to form an angle. There's no angle at all. Yeah. I've listened to both of them. The discussion is laden on emotions, lamentations here and there. But the facts before us, before the whole world, is October 7. If you
October
say
7.
We should ignore October 7 and start from where?
Hold on, I want to go for a short break. When we return, you continue with your analysis. If you just joined us, this is International Forum. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is International Forum. We're taking a look at the Israel-Hamas war, global implication. Well, Honorable Utifo went on that break. You say you did not agree with what Barrister A.B. Thomas is saying. So take it up from there.
Yes, if you don't want us to take it up from October 7, anything before October 7 is not before the whole world to judge with. Why are we quoting October 7 if it's not remarkable? What other dates have we been told right now that we should look at? They would now form a new form of discussion along that line. So the whole world is challenged by October 7. So there's no link between Russia-Ukraine war and Israel-Hamas. There's no link at all. Hamas is not a country. As I said, it's a terrorist group. It's all over the internet. The terrorist group is not a nation. It is unfortunate that some disgruntled elements in Palestine decided to form that group. So Israel is dealing with Hamas in particular, not necessarily Palestine. So if the war is between Israel and Palestine, I will not say this. Because even if as they have decided to launch an attack on Israel, and they should be expecting repercussion. You don't just wake up one sudden day and you now said, you want to go and slap the giant in my community. As we say in our local parlance, if you do anyhow, you see anyhow. So let's allow Hamas see anyhow. So if we're asking for...
But at whose expense? Because civilians have been affected.
Yes.
Civilians have been killed.
Yeah, of course they are. I should also tell you in Benin, Okwemo say, war is not something you want to behold. It's not an exciting thing. So you look at the culprit of this whole saga is Hamas. So it's now no time for the constitutional Palestinian government to interact with Israel to say, help us attend to this terrorist group. I've not said anything different from ISIS and Hamas. They're about the same. They are the one, by extension, fueling crisis in Africa, especially in Nigeria. So there's nothing to applaud or to sympathize with about the Hamas. I don't have anything to sympathize with them.
All right, I'll come back to you. No, hold on. Now, let me come to you, Barrister Osanho Osazua. From what Honorable Frank Amego said, he said, look, Israel is targeting Hamas, not Palestine or Palestinians, because Hamas, they were the one that committed the crime. And somewhere along the line, some Palestinians are showing sympathy to this terrorist group. So would you blame Israel for targeting those spots that they feel that Hamas will go and hide? Vis-a-vis hospital, schools, mosque, even the church was affected also in the raid. Take it up from there.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you. You see, what does Hamas represent? What does Hamas want? When Sheikh Ahmad Yassin founded the Islamic resistance movement, which we all know as Hamas in 1987, what were the goals? The chief goal was to secure our homeland for the Palestinian people. Sincerely, in all honesty, I've never seen a loftier or a better goal. To secure a homeland, a place that the Palestinian people can call home. Again, there is a big difference between an end and the means we pursue in getting those ends. For a very long time, after the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, there have been intermittent clashes and about three major wars, if you like, and then about 5 minor wars, making up 8 since 1948. From time to time, people are hard to fight. The Palestinians are hard to fight. It is normal. It is expected. Because you said that Israel is targeting Hamas and not the Palestinian people. The same Hamas that the Palestinian people voted to power to rule them in Gaza. Hamas represents Palestine. What means did they think was the quickest way to achieving the goals of its own for the Palestinian people? They saw that the talks were being stalled. They were not getting anything from those talks, and they needed to increase the pressure, so to speak, on the Jewish nation and on the conscience of the West to get this land. The other day, here in Harvard, I saw some students, some Arab and Palestinian people, some few hours after the attack, after the October 7th attack, I saw this placard, this beautiful placard that some of them carry. The three, they will liberate the land by all means necessary.
By all means necessary. Okay.
By all means necessary. And that is what is expected. I cannot come on this platform and say that the Ukrainians have a right to fight for their motherland, to fight and plead and not to give up, to give in to Russian aggression. And at the same breath, I will say no, the Arabs just genuflect before the Israeli supreme military powers and genuflect and just lie down and keep waiting and do nothing and wait for Jewish generosity to get back their land. I will be, I don't know, I cannot put that in words. We must be honest with ourselves. The West must be honest with itself. You cannot take from Peter, you cannot rob Peter
to pepper.
You cannot take Arab land to placate Jewish sympathy because you are saying, because one of yours, the German people, I tell you, it's about the most, this is the world whitest people you can find on earth. They represent the West. They were the one, it wasn't the Arab, for God's sake, that exterminated the Jews. It was done by white supremacy, which unfortunately there are still many of them. And the Arabs must not be made to pay for the sin of white supremacy. The Nazis were not Arabs. The Nazis were Christians. The truth must be said. They were not Arabs. And the Arabs must not pay for what the Nazis did to the Jews. That land before the creation of Israel belonged to a certain people. It belongs to the Palestinians. And if the Jews say they lay claim, because again, to be honest, there has always been a remnant of Jews in that place. Like the Bible said that it will leave a remnant of them there. So there have always been some Jews there, but those Jews were less than 10% of the population before the creation of the state of Israel in 1948. So the issue now is how do we extract a stone of hope from this mountain of this path to quote Dr. King? How do we create a place for the Arabs, for the Palestinians that they can call home? And in that place, it is doable, it is fixable. That's what politics should be. That which the church told us that politics is the act of the possible. If you cannot find solutions, you shouldn't be in politics in the first place. The Western democracy should come to the table with an honest heart, with love and determination in their heart to do what is right, to do what is just, to do what is fair, to do what is godly. Because all these people are all God's children, whether they be Jews, whether they be Gentiles, whether they be Arabs, and wherever they be. We should find a place that the Palestinians can call home. And for God's sake, the Palestinians have a land, a historical claim to that land that Israel currently thinks on. They should share the land, no matter Middle East, side by side, Palestine, Israel, living together in peace and in harmony. That is feasible.
All right.
I cannot sit there and say and demonize Hamas, even what they have done is really demonic. But no, you must look beyond the effect. You must look at the cause. You must ask yourself what led to this. Have the Arabs been patient enough? Yes, they have. Is the method that the Hamas employed trying to get this lofty idea of a land for themselves, is it just? I will tell you it's not just. You cannot go about capturing the innocent, going to a party and killing people at random because you want to make a voice. But again, if they have not done this, nobody will know what's happening. Nobody will know what's happening. The
All right.
status quo will continue. Sometimes, like the famous American president, what's his name again? What he said, the tree of liberty must be watered from time to time by both the blood of tyrants and patriots. That was Thomas Jefferson.
All right.
That it should be. You have to pay a price for your dream.
Okay.
You have to be able to pay a price for that thing which you want. And the Arabs are making blood. They know that the repercussion will be steep. That Israel has the capacity and the ability and the technology and the military might to exterminate them. Yet, they went ahead to do what they did because they were faced with no option. The other time,
I will come back to you. I will come back to you.
Let me answer you.
All right.
Who said that a necessary war is a just war? A necessary war is a just war. And for as far as the Arabs are concerned, this war is necessary because it borders on their existential continuity, or it borders on their most basic life right, the right to live and the right to have a place they call home.
Thank you.
So in Nigeria, for God's sake, but the Palestinians they can say I'm a Palestinian, but they point to Palestine on the map, they can't find the place. It is very sad. We must do something about it.
Thank you so much. Well, Barrister Abidon, it's like he's speaking your heart right now.
Maybe not now.
Oh, maybe not now. Maybe not now. Listen. All right, now, Barrister Abidon, right now, the Middle East is not at ease. To show you that what they did by consideration, by the reaction of Arab League in quotes right now, that they're not in support of the action of Hamas. Take a look at Egypt. They had to open pathway for trucks to come in to deliver first aid and the rest of them. They openly condemn what Hamas did, but appeal to Israel to please focus on Hamas, let civilian go. Isn't this a work of cowardice in the sense that you came out, you knew this would be the repercussion, you still went ahead to do what you did, and you are using humans as shields?
I will refer you to this video clip
Yes.
on TV. These are people who are not just from the bush or desert. Look at what their lands have become. If you are somebody who knows the definition of history, history is the study of the past. To know the present and prepare for the future. So you cannot be discussing October 7 in isolation of the past. And if Hamas has been so bossed to a corner, whereby to the east of Gaza is the Mediterranean Sea, to the north you have the Israelis there occupying Palestinian land, to the east you have the Israelis there occupying Palestinian land, to the south you have the Israelis there occupying Palestinian land. They are in an open prison. They cannot move. They cannot manufacture anything. I started by saying every soul is important. Whether you are from Ijo, or you are from Israel, or you are from America, every soul is important. The unfortunate aspect that is prolonging this war, I know you will not be interested, but I will tell you the reason. One is the American angle. Biden is facing a lot of problems in America. If you look at these polls, they say if an election is held today in America, Donald Trump will defeat Biden.
That's one that day.
Now, Biden needs popularity show. And the most influential and the most affluent citizens in America are Jews. So you have to please these Jews to be able to prop up your popularity in America. Otherwise, you cannot give the Israelis an open check to exterminate people in Gaza. Palestinians in Gaza are 2.3 million people. Israel cannot ask Palestinians in northern Gaza to move to southern Gaza for safety, and at the same time be bombing the southern part of Gaza. That is a war crime. International war crime.
But instead of that did that bombing, that was rocket from Hamas.
Oh God.
Anyway, that is subject to debate and contestation.
Then what right has Israel got to ask even Palestinians to move out? Today, Biden has changed his language. Biden is now saying nobody should be forced to move. Today, if I left my house, the Emir of Qatar is already warning. Don't forget that even if, assuming people in Qatar are only 10, the fact that Emir is now coming out to condemn the extermination. What did Assisi, the head of state of Egypt, he himself condemned this, what is going on? A lot of them are beginning to get angry. America today has now started to send in more. Rather than talking of how the war will end, they are bringing in more weapons that can intercept missiles. Because they have seen that their own allies are beginning to get angry with them. 3 days ago, America intercepted 15 missiles from Yemen. Your own allies are now angry. You gave Israel blank check. Go ahead.
Yemen was never an ally of America.
Excuse me. Saudi Arabia is angry. Saudi Arabia has been the ally to America.
But the nice support
No.
of Hamas because Iran is funding Hamas. Let's get history
You are
clear.
talking of Hamas.
Yes, because they've heard all these
The
things.
land does not belong to Hamas. The land belongs to Palestine.
But Hamas are the ones causing the trouble. Why not push them out? Israel said, bring these people out. No, let's be factual
You keep
here.
seeing the injuries Hamas has inflicted wrongly. I use the word wrongly on Israelis. But you are not seeing, and you cannot see, and you did not see what happened before October 7.
All right.
And as long as you keep on holding this kind of view, there can be no Palestinian state if you hold this view. Because when there was Camp David meeting,
Yes.
between Bill Clinton, Menachem Begin, and Arafat, who was the chairman of PLO, what was the decision? If you know the history.
And after that, what was the comment of the terrorist group that Israel should not exist? Don't forget that part also.
Excuse me.
All right.
You are a moderator.
Of course, I'm asking because we have to educate everybody.
At the meeting,
Yes.
the first thing they put on the priority list is a freeze on all settlement establishments. The matter went to the United Nations. A vote was taken. America agreed. There must be freeze on all settlements. Till as I'm talking now, settlements are increasing. And the reason why Israel is asking Palestinians to leave north of Gaza is nothing but to grab more settlements and build more land.
I'll come back to you.
Of course.
I'll come back to you.
You will shot me.
He raised a point, a very vital point. Really, Israel is violating that rule. I remember clearly there was a rule that stated for peace to reign, stop raising settlements. But Israel really violated the rule. There have been settlements upon settlement being built in Gaza, and that is annoying Palestinians. What if they said, but I don't forget to mention also the reaction of the Arab League that beginning to speak that, look, you've killed enough. What Hamas did is wrong. It's like using a sledgehammer on an ant or a fly. Take it easy. Let's come back and talk. Even accuse Israel also of trying to amass more lands by telling them to move from the south to north. Take it up from there.
Yes, this argument, this moment,
Yes.
is not clear. Because I came to this studio to talk about Israel and Hamas, not Israel and Palestine. So, of course, I want you to agree. Barrister, sir, are you saying Palestinian government sent Hamas to do what they did? If they did, if the Palestinian government did not, on whose order is Hamas acting? That line has to be drawn.
If you ask me, I will answer you.
I will ask you after this program.
No, let's say here. Let's say here.
So, as I was saying, so that line has to be drawn. We are just ignoring Hamas as if they did nothing. Or whatever they did on October 7 is of no consequence.
We all said they did something.
So if they did something,
And it was wrong. We have said so.
you are playing the drum of war, and you should dance to it. Israel wants Hamas to dance to it. If Palestinian government says that we didn't send them, then let us have access to Hamas.
But Hamas is in charge of the government.
In Gaza, not West Bank.
Hold on. Right now, they are in charge of the government in Gaza.
In Gaza.
So that means Honorable is making a point.
Yes.
Who gave that order? Who told them to go attack?
Very good, very good. I told you, you must separate the government from those who went to carry out this dastardly act.
But it's the government that want to talk about. You said they call it an election. Hamas won.
Hamas won. But those who went on this dastardly act is the Qassam Brigade.
Of his
It's a
branch.
brigade.
Of the Hamas branch of what?
It's a branch of Hamas.
So it's
But it is
separate.
not Hamas government.
It's a branch of Hamas, not Hamas government.
You will get my point clear.
Okay.
Please allow me to say it.
Go ahead.
If you say iPod says sits at home. iPod did not say go and be killing people in the streets. But some people are killing people in the streets. That's not iPod.
In the name of iPod.
No, that's not iPod.
But in the name of iPod.
iPod from that.
So what I am trying to tell you is this.
All right.
Now what I'm trying to tell you is this.
Yes.
If before October 7, there was genuine move towards peace. Before October 7, all this we are seeing now wouldn't have happened.
True.
Then if you also look at the Oslo Convention, everybody has been saying just the same thing. 2 states living side by side.
All right.
But what do you find?
As I was saying,
Our time is up. We should allow Sal to give us a summary of this discussion. Now, what is the way forward? In 1 minute,
without emotions.
Our time is up. Barrister, can you hear me? In 1 minute, what should be the way forward?
Yes, thank you, Winston. The way forward is the way of love. Is the way of justice. To understand that what is good for the goose should be good for the gander. To understand that we have to be fair both to the Jews and to the Arabs. To understand that the place called Palestine, an independent nation called Palestine, is possible, living side by side with the state of Israel. We can do this. It is doable. It can be done. It's just the willpower. It's the tenacity of purpose. It's the focus. It's to put love first. Let love lead. If love leads us in this matter, Palestine will be created, and Israel will survive, and the Arabs will survive, and every one of us will be better for it.
Thank you.
That does it.
Thank you so much, Osar. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. Barrister, I know we can go on and on arguing this, but 2 wrongs, they say, cannot make a right. You don't beat a child, and you tell the child not to cry. But sometimes how the child cry also matters a lot. It matters a lot. Palestine, they have the right to exist. They have the right to survive. Israel also have the right to exist. They have the right to survive. UN should come in and let the killing stop. Really, it's getting too much. It is getting too much. Kids are being killed for crying out loud. It isn't for crying out that they're being killed. They're crying, we are not Hamas. We are not Hamas. Let us be. But the anger of Israel because of what happened to them on October 7 is like driving them. Is it driving them to the brink right now to do the wrong thing? That's a question everyone should be asking. There should be peace. Gentlemen, thank you so much for a wonderful analysis. We'll do it again next week, Tuesday, God willing. Bye for now.